Welcome ladies, welcome gentlemen. Health personnel are people who work every day facing many conditions that could sometimes be improved. For example, in hospitals and clinics, but who are always there to care for us and, if possible, alleviate that evil that has us sometimes even going crazy because of relatives, loved ones, or ourselves. Tonight we have stories, the second installment sent precisely by doctors or physicians, since even among all the movement of day to day, horrible, unexplainable events occur. Sometimes there is not even time to realize at that moment you want to listen to them. Let's take advantage that we are already here and allow me to accompany you during any activity that you are doing or make yourselves comfortable. Let's disconnect for a while from the stress and the rush of the outside world and better prepare and accompany us with the drink of your preference, and we go towards the state of Mexico. Felipe, who asked us to just call him so tonight, we account. This I am from Cuautitlan Izcalli. I work right here in a social security hospital. I am not going to mention the name or the number so that there is no problem, because to this day we do not know what happened, and it derived from one of the deficiencies of these insurance programs that, well, just for that reason I do not mention, where one afternoon back in 2007 an older patient had arrived, had been brought by his daughter along with another daughter of the Lord for a somewhat urgent condition to attend to. I am not going to go into details on that, but the Lord needed an intervention that was done that same night, and a medicine that no matter how much we looked for it in inventory in other hospitals from here in Mexico City to Puebla, there simply was not there. We had no idea either when they were going to refill it, since we had it in short supply for a few months without an answer. For that same reason the gentleman had to spend the night hospitalized in constant review, since it was the only way we could intervene if he got very sick, and it was all because of that medication that no one had an answer or date for. He spent the night there without a problem, left as soon as dawn broke when my shift ended, and when I returned the next day to start my day again, the Lord was being discharged. It was good that I was able to see how he had stood up and was about to leave the room with one of his daughters. I caught up with him and asked him what happened. Did he feel better, or why he had been discharged? How was he? The Lord told my partner and me that it was all because of a nurse who had gone with him in the morning. As soon as I left, after 5 minutes, this nurse arrived with that medication and brought him a glass of water, and with that he felt better. The gentleman had that box of pills in his hands and showed it to us. Looked a little worn out, but they were still in good condition. They don't expire yet, and among others my colleague and I looked amazed. We had no idea who it was and how he got them, and we started asking about fellow nurses that we knew very well, and we didn't have any record of that medication either, that we just hoped to be able to get it to discharge this patient, and that he would take that medicine with him so he could leave. Before leaving, the very kind gentleman, by the way, took me by the back, by the shoulder, as if guiding me in a good way to tell me something alone, something that I could never forget. I already saw how confused your colleagues are, and you look, doctor. It seems to me that the one who attended me in the morning was a colleague of yours who has already passed away. Don't believe me much, but I tell you the truth. That colleague of yours, the nurse who came with me, had a uniform that was used when I was a guard at a hospital right here in Limps many years ago. Good looking, and I didn't see him again in the morning. That boy told me that he would return to ask me how I was doing, but I did not see him anymore. I tell him not to believe me completely. Maybe I saw wrong, but if it was a ghost or not, he just saved my life. The condition of this patient hurts to say it, but it depended on him just to recover. That is how important it was, and that is why we had to have recorded somewhere the entry of that medicine, but well, nobody knew anything And nobody saw that nurse either. Even though he described it to us, we checked the box and everything seemed to be in order. It was original and he left. Thank God he did not return to the hospital. This patient, from what we understood, recovered, and we got confused there as to what to report. But the important thing was that if it was a comrade who was no longer with us, he fulfilled his duty to save him. If we hear the name of the planchada, surely many Mexicans, above all that ghost nurse, comes to mind, which many people remember as reported having encounters with her, who ultimately helps patients. However, it would be a shame if not on all occasions it has been her, but as in this case, a different nurse who makes us remember that each one has a name that